Your strain, I seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow.
Yeah, and where did that medevac go? I'm not sure. He's taken out the old.
Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh my goodness! MMA! Oh! Marcus, that is also not a good use of a third command center.
Ultimately be defeating himself here, as that will put him behind. He needed that. A lot of Banelings being morphed right now. The muta count is very high. Idra has not lost, I do not even believe, a single muta in all this. And, well, gosh, MMA moving forward, but Idra looks incredibly prepared for this.
Another drop by MMA up at that expansion, trying to do a little bit of damage. And now Idra's rolling, and look at the mutalist count. Banelings getting absolutely obliterated by these tanks, but the mutalist count is just a little bit too high. Idra now streaming forward with Zerglings, mutas, everything is overrunning the force by MMA. What?
Alright guys, welcome back. This is Black Dragon here for you today. I have an awesome treat. I have the highest rated Zerg player on the North American ladder, playing the number 14 Grandmaster in an ultimate showdown. And with no further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into this one, because it is awesome. Down over here in the top left, you have Pulse Kane, our Zerg, the best Zerg according to the ladder in the North America. And down here in the bottom right, spawning in the blue, is State. Expect to see some high-level play from both players, interesting timings, weird builds, random scouting patterns, bicycles, puppies, everything. Always good to have a nice little friendly banter going on back and forth. And normally with this matchup, you tend to find that it almost hinges on Protoss just throwing out these very weird timings that the Zerg's not used to. You'll see a lot of Mothership Core harass, a lot of Oracle, because it's just too easy for the Zerg to get to that 3 base sweet spot and just kind of dictate the game. Whether that be Stefano Roaches going into Hydra, it's just, it's a little too easy. So Protoss has been doing a lot of things to kind of throw the Zerg off. A lot of one-base play has been coming out recently. A lot of Forge Fast Expand into Stargate has been very popular. And over here we do see the very direct scouting pattern here from Kane. He's obviously done this a few times. Chooses to just watch the map more than his base because he has the vision. He's watching the mini-map. He's convinced he'll catch any lone probe kind of wandering the map. And I feel that this map makes it really difficult for the Zerg player to move into the later stages of the game. There's a lot of choke points here, a lot of bad engagement points that the Zerg does not want to initiate on. It kind of forces them back as they have to take these outside bases. It becomes really difficult for the Zerg to find a good engagement. You get choke points here and here and here. The only 2 main routes to the map are these other 2 very small choke points. We do have the standard coming out of Kane. Down here at the bottom, we do have one base play by State, opting to throw off the Zerg opponent who's going to scout this. Not really know how to react. He's going to have to change his gas timings. It's going to throw the Zerg off balance to what they're used to. Don't know if this is on purpose or not, but we do have State electing to leave one worker off the gas, now putting it back on. Maybe just a quick realization, maybe not. Either way, we have the Zealot down here doing a little dance, taunting the Overlord. If I was Marine, he'd be dead, he's saying. But alas, Kane's Ovi will float away. We do have the two Lings down here doing some initial scouting. He doesn't see the Force Fast Expand instantly. He's going to probably go ahead and yes, he already has his gas down. Was already suspicious. Going to rush for that Ling speed, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays this out. Right now, we've got no vision of the expansion, so he's still thinking it might possibly be one base play. And eventually, he will come out. And did he see it? No, does not see the expansion. Probably assumes it's started. Either way, here's that very early pressure. You see the two Zealot mothership cores just going to do a ton of damage, if not properly microed. Puts a lot of stress on the Zerg, especially when I be droning, hitting their injects, spreading creep. It's going to make it really difficult. Now, this is often more effective when the Zerg is rushed to 3 bases. This should be held easily by Kane. Already has vision, already knows it's coming. Gonna go ahead and focus down the Zealots, who have a very short range. Does produce some Lings, but still drones. 4 drones behind it pretty heavily. Going to the income tab. Do have the Zerg with a slight lead over the Protoss. We do have all gases now going down for the Zerg. Rushing layer tech as well. We may see some possible Mutalisk. He is just gonna bank a ton of gas. Not even saturated at the natural, but maxing out on the gases. We do have the follow-up harass coming in, seeing what damage he can do. Tries to just deny this creep spread for as long as he can. Over here back in the main, we have gateways going down, Forge going down, second base started up. We do have a very sentry heavy play, indicating a lot of defense. I like to think he's going to move towards his third fairly quickly. Take advantage of this 1 base play because the Zerg did not rush to 3 bases. We do have movement coming out as well. Link speed already done. And they're going to run right into that army, but still gets by. Going to be able to disengage fairly easily. A lot of Lings being produced by Kane. Very strange to have this against a toss, especially one going Sentry Zealot. I can't say Zealot today, it's okay though. But you're not the ideal unit against this composition because that Mothership Core is just going to be taking pot shots at the Zerglings, and the force fields are going to create very, very poor surrounds. Electing to push in, doing damage, just trap one of the queens. 2 of the queens now bunched together. Force fields all around. 1 queen, 2 queens go down. That's huge. 12 Lings now being produced. He can almost back away and recalls. Perfect play. Had him produce 20 Lings that are now worthless because he's completely walled in at this natural. That is how the Mothership Core is supposed to be used against Zerg. Killed 2 queens and recalled as soon as the pressure was put on and had Kane overreact. Continuing the sentry production. At the same time, we do have a Spire dropping, and third finally starting from our Zerg player. He seems like he's falling behind. He's about 10 down in supply. Gonna have to expand. Wisely dropping the Spine Crawlers, though, to move into that Muta type of play. We don't see a third pro. Probably going to go ahead and check some other spots, see if he can get something out, get some kind of information. And he does see the Spines. He sees 3 of them at the same time. It's almost going to tip the hand that it's going to be a Ling Muta heavy kind of composition. How is State going to react? Still has a very sentry, very gas heavy army. Can't transition out of this easily because the sentries are so heavy in gas. Does have the extra minerals, but you know, without those stalkers, it's going to be kind of difficult to deal with these mutas. He has been restricted to 2 base, so it's going to take him a long time to kind of get that critical mass going of Mutalisk. But already has 7 in production. Moving around very well with these Lings, keeping a good contain on the Protoss. Almost has to know that there's some type of third going down, especially with these rocks being knocked down. Almost guaranteed. Third up and running, we have a Hallucinated Phoenix coming out to do some scouting. We do have vision the entire time of this well-placed Overlord. Gonna get some good timings out, and the third Nexus finishes, completely walled in. Rock falling down to the Stalkers. How cruel. We do have 3 bases up and running though, and here come the Mutas to do some damage. Is he going to spot it? Yes, to spot it with the patrolling Phoenix. That was hallucinated. Really good move. He does not have that many probes out here. The sentries are going to be able to do some damage. Oh, there we go. Planetary Nexus doing some damage as well. Shields up. Gonna still take out the pylon. Pretty good trade. No units lost. Going over to units lost tab, we do have quite a bit lost for the Zerg player when he lost those queens. Back to income, we do have the Protoss ahead on probes as well. Not a good spot for the Zerg to be in. Alright, and this is the epitome of Grandmaster play. There's a blink coming in, but still loses the pylon. In this high-level play, everything matters. This is top 20 Grandmaster. Those pylons are going to be huge. And this Muta just giving State fits right now. I think he just killed his own pylon, claiming the kill steal. Well done. Does have some high Templars in the mix now, as long as sentries. This is a very, very gas-heavy army. It's going to be very hard to remax. He's going to have to move towards a 4th. As far as he knows, the Zerg is up on bases. He's probably getting anxious. If we go to the vision, State knows almost nothing. Alright, here come the Mutas in for some more harass. Gonna take out some probes. You know what, Chrono Boost though, just keeping up. Worker for worker. The Toss is doing what he has to do to stay in this game. Eventually he's gonna have to move out though to claim some more bases, and this Muta play is gonna make it very hard. Especially with the lack of cannons, which aren't really gonna do anything anyway. Here's some more probes lost. And it's going to wisely pull away. Tons of probes lost. Almost lost 12 probes right there. Decent Storm goes down. Just missed quite a few of those Mutas that are going to now quickly regenerate. Out goes the Blink. All for naught, though. Can't catch anything. Going to run right into a pack of Lings. They're going to come in with the Mutalisk as well. Doing double damage, getting nice around. There's a Blink back up on the cliff. Supply towering for Kane now, who's just has massive macro going on. 3 bases, still able to hit very close to 200 on a gas-heavy army. Going to units, he's up to 28, almost 30 Mutalisk in just about 15 minutes on 3 bases. Just finishes 4th, no gas though. It's very good. It's not one missed inject. Here comes some storms, another whiff storm. Goes a planetary overcharge, whatever you want to call it, still taking out a few, no, not even one Mutalisk. And now State in a very awkward spot. Can't mine from his natural, and he can't move out to do any damage. He's going to have to force some type of trade here. He has to be careful with these high Templars. They're all by themselves. Alright, he comes in to snipe this Nexus. It seems like we're going to go towards some type of base trade situation. We do have the Dark Templars coming in. Where did those come from? Didn't even see the building go down to snipe a base for base. And we do have the Mutas though moving into the main base, going to snipe that main Nexus. That's going to be huge. But we do have the Hive about to drop as well. We have a full-on base trade going down. We do have the High Templars with full energy and can warp into the Archons as well. High Templar still going to work. We do have the lone pylon. I think that's unseen. It may be the difference in this game. We do have 4, but they are powered by the 1 Artosis pylon. Aren't going to be doing any damage right now. He's desperately trying to warp in stuff. Not going to matter though. Very few buildings up. None up now. 0 base to 0 base. We still have 1 up at the very bottom that I don't think State even knows about. Full-on base trade going out. Can he out-damage the Mutalisk? I don't think he can. There's no cannons up. He's going to drop and get vision of all this bases that are up. And I don't think he has the mobility or the damage or the supply right now. There's a huge army here to meet it with tons of Banelings with the speed, but we have beautiful storms going down.